So I'm planning on building a fixture table to help me out when I'm doing some welding. I want the fixture table to sit on top of my existing bench. Got a nice bench here, 12 gauge steel. I want it to be almost 6 feet long, but I want it to be fairly lightweight. And I want to be able to use regular clamps with it because I don't have any fixture clamps or anything like that. So what I did is I got some plates from a local supplier. They're 5/8 aluminum, 6 inches wide, 2 feet long. He sells them in 2 foot, 3 foot, 4 foot, or whatever length you want. They're drilled and reamed with a CNC. They got countersunk holes for 3/16 cap screws right here. And he throws in these blocks here to use to weld to something. So my plan is to get steel tubing, 1, 2, 3, weld these blocks on, bolt the plates on. That part is fairly straightforward, but I want the plates to be parallel, square, flat, not cockamamie or anything like that. To figure out how to do that, the flatness I can handle with shims underneath here, make them flat, even if my rails are bowed a little bit when I get done welding. The spacing is a little bit harder. So to get them perfectly parallel and spaced, my plan is I have 6 plates. I'll take one of the plates and I'll put these dowel pins in. These are 5/8 dowel pins. And I'll use the dowel pins to align the plates. Now with dowel pins in the holes, these dowel pins, I ground these down so they're only they're 1,000th under 5/8, so they're 0.624. Holes are exactly 0.625 plus or minus a couple tenths. This should align the plates near perfectly parallel and square to each other. So then I'll weld and bolt 2 plates in, and then I'll take this and move it down. I'll weld and bolt the next plate, move it down, weld and bolt the next plate. And by then I can unbolt this plate, use it on the far end to fix the last plate in place. If this all works, I'll extend this video with another clip showing how great it worked. If it didn't work, I'll just delete the video. I've got 3 1x3 1/8 wall steel tubes. My plan is to lay them out on the bench, here, roughly. And I have 6 5/8 by 6 inch aluminum plates pre-drilled with the 5/8 diameter 2-inch center fixture pattern. Along with these plates came some blocks. They're 1 inch by 3/4, drilled and tapped 3/16. Somehow now I've got to get these rails straight and square. I got to get the plates straight and square. And the hard part for me will be getting these blocks welded to the tubing close enough in location that I'll be able to put the plates in a spot where all the holes will be nice and lined up and square and perpendicular and parallel and all that kind of stuff. As far as flatness goes, the tubing here is in pretty good shape, not too far off. It'll get probably further off when I start tack welding these in, and if that happens, I can either heat the back side or I can just simply shim the whole thing. The idea behind this then is that I'll be able to have about 5 foot long by 2 foot frames that I can fabricate for another project that I'm working on that I need this for. So if this works, if I can come up with a way of getting these tacked on without mucking too much stuff up. So my idea of using dowels to locate the plates I think is sound. The problem is standard size dowels are a little bit tight. I don't really want to have to pound them in. So what I'll do is I'll use my precision grinder to take about maybe 1/1000th of an inch off of these dowels. And just chuck it into a 5/8 collet. And dress them up a little bit so they look a little shinier. And then do the same to the other side. The trick, of course, is to knowing where that 1,000th of an inch actually is, which comes with experience, I guess. Maybe I'll just take a wild guess. Let's see how close we came here. They started out at 625 and a couple of tenths. I'm at 623 and about 9/10. I'm about 624 and 3/10. About 624 and 1/10. That'll actually be pretty good. It'll just drop right in there, kind of stick in place, won't fall all the way through. So a few more like this and I'll have the locator pins that I need. I spent the morning messing around with this again. I got a little bit further along. So far, the two outside rails, I have all the blocks tacked into place. The way I got the spacing correct, or reasonably close, for these blocks is I started out by squaring one of these plates up, tacking in the block. And then to get the next plate in the right spot, I used one of the plates and some 5/8 dowel pins that I ground down 1,000th of an inch under and dropped anywhere from 3 to 5 of them in the right holes here. That makes sure that, you know, the 2-inch spacing on these plates is carried through from this plate to this plate. And when I had that doweled into place, I put the blocks underneath, bolted the blocks tight to the plate, and then tack welded underneath all the way around. Then for the next plate in line, I shifted this down, doweled in across all 3 plates, and then put the block underneath here, reached underneath here with my TIG torch, tacked it into place. Now, I got 2 out of my 3 beams welded. I got the blocks on here that I can use to attach my fixture tape plates. And of course, these bowed quite a bit, like about 1/8 inch. So what I did was I heated the back side of these tubing directly opposite where I welded. So I just took a torch and heated around here, did that, then let it cool. I did that several times, and I've got these flat now so that on one of them, a 1/10,000th of an inch feeler gauge does not go in anywhere. And on the other one, this one, a 5/1000 gauge goes in here, but not any of the others. So as of right now, one of them's flat within about 1/10,000th of an inch. This one's flat within about 5/1000 of an inch. So to get the center rail on my fixture table, I flipped it upside down, squared it up, made sure that all the plates were spaced the right distance apart, and then I set the 3rd rail down in there, put the blocks in, bolted the blocks tight to the plates, and then tack welded that 3rd rail in. Then I unbolted it all and brought it out here to my sawhorses and finished welding it. Now, of course, it bowed, so the center was dropped down, the ends are curled up, like you kind of expect when you weld. What I did then is I flipped it upside down and I heated exactly opposite where each weld was. I took the acetylene torch, heated a spot the size of a quarter, maybe 2 dimes up underneath each one of these, and then let it cool. I did one at a time, heat, cool, and I kept doing that, and slowly got it pulled down to very near flat. Final installment, I got the rails welded up, I got them flamed, straightened, I got the plates bolted back on. I've aligned the plates as best as I can for squareness and distance between plates. Knocked them around a little bit, loosened them, retightened them. I measured with straight edges. I got some 70-year-old 2-foot Starrett rules. I got precision Starrett machinist squares. I got long straight edges, and I got calipers, and I got inside micrometers, and everything I could possibly think of. And as best as I can tell, squareness, flatness, and hole spacing is no worse than 15 thousandths of an inch, and generally within 10 thousandths of an inch, over 6 feet. So I'm going to call this a win, and hopefully I can start using it soon.